What's up, guys? Today we're going to do a fun walkthrough through this, the Deathtrap Dungeon. Ooh, I got my green screen on. This is actually a green cover. I'll show you a picture of it here in a second online, but it's Deathtrap Dungeon by Ian Livingstone. It's a fighting fantasy book. You are the hero. Such a cool series. Somehow I missed out on all these growing up. I love Dungeons and Dragons growing up. I'm a kid of the 80s. Born in the 70s, growing up in the 80s. I love D&D, but I guess there was like 1,000 of these play through your own adventure type thing. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure, but greater, and I'll show you that if you don't know. If you do know, maybe you want to go back down memory lane. We're going to add some fun little walkthrough sounds, and yeah, we're gonna have a little trip through here, and I'm going to try to finish the Deathtrap Dungeon. I'm not going to finish it. This is hard. I played a little bit of it once. I'm going to play it again. I wanted to videotape it and show the playthrough because these books are worth videoing and showing and sharing, and hopefully you guys go out and get some. You can still get a bunch of new ones. They've all been, I don't know if they've all been reprinted, but a bunch of them have been reprinted. So you can go to Amazon or the book repository, whatever that is. There's a giant bookstore in Europe that I've been ordering from. Well, I think I ordered this from them, and they're great too. And so yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so before we get started, what is Fighting Fantasy? It is a series of choose-your-own-adventure books published in '82 by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone. Steve Jackson has made 10 million games. I can only assume, I think this is the same Steve Jackson who's made everything under the sun, from Munchkin to, I think, Steve Jackson games. I think he made... Nope, that was Z-Man made Pandemic. I thought he made Pandemic. He's made GURPS. I played GURPS, generic role-playing. He's made Munchkin. He's made 10,000 things. And apparently he made these books as well with Ian Livingstone. They were approached to make a kind of a fantasy tabletop gaming. The two decided to use the similar mechanics to D&D in Choose Your Own Adventure. So it's a Choose Your Own Adventure with a D&D kind of a flair. And it was Book Depository is what I was talking about a minute ago. Great website, and here's all their fighting fantasy books. There's just a bajillion of these things. Maybe not a bajillion. What are those? Those look cool. Oh, Ian Livingstone, more Ian Livingstone. So yeah, I'm excited to try this one out, and here is what the actual... It's green. It's green. This is the original book cover from the 80s. All right, so I'm gonna first explain how to play the game. We're gonna make a dude, and then we're gonna delve into the Deathtrap Dungeon. Check out this fightingfantasy.com FF Resources. Literally has an adventure sheet for us for this particular book. So thank you very much, Fighting Fantasy. Fightingfantasy.com. Is this an actual sponsor? Is this really them? This is probably right. This is Steve Jackson, Ian Livingstone. Fightingfantasy.com. Probably should have led with that, dude. Ooh, advanced fighting fantasy. Oh my gosh, this is a rabbit hole, everybody. There's our game books. Where's the suggestion from Scholastic? All right. All right, so let's learn how to play. Before embarking on your adventure, you must first determine your own strengths and weaknesses. You have in your possession a sword and a backpack containing provisions, food and drink for the trip. You have been preparing your quest by training yourself in swordplay and exercising vigorously, trying to get your muscles big to build up your stamina. To see how effective your preparations have been, you must use the dice to determine your initial skill and stamina scores. On page 18 and 19, there's an adventure sheet, blah, 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 blah. You are advised to either record your scores on the adventure sheet in pencil or make photo, blah, 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 blah. All right, skill, stamina, luck. Roll one die. I got my handy dandy die of pounding, weighs about 3 pounds, and then I got a cheap die in case I need that. Add 6 to this number and enter it into the skill box. 5, promise. All right, even cooler, I found a Fighting Fantasy form fillable little tool online at scarex.be FF roller, kind of cool. So I'm adding 6, I got 11. Gonna roll both dice. Oh, so you do have to have 2. Add 12 to the number rolled, and this is your stamina. I got an 8 plus 12, so I got 20 stamina. Got a 1 on my luck, so not good. So 7. Woohoo! For reasons that will be explained below, skill, stamina, luck scores change constantly during an adventure. You must keep an accurate record of these scores, and for this reason, you are advised to write small, but never rub out your initial scores. Okay, all right. Although you may be awarded additional skill. Oh, look at that. So I can, okay, I'm digging this. Good job, bud. Oh my gosh, he's got the maps. He's got the maps for all the books. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to see it. I don't want you guys to see it. Your skill score reflects your swordsmanship and general fighting expertise. The higher the better. Stamina reflects your constitution, your will to survive, basically like your hit points. Your luck score indicates how naturally lucky a person is. Luck and magic are facts of life in the fantasy kingdom you're about to explore. All right, we'll get into the details of battles when we actually run into one so that we can get started. So I'll explain the rules as we go. We're just going to go ahead and dive right into the dungeon, get our adventure started, and we will discuss the rules as we get in there so you guys don't have to listen to all this in the beginning. But really quick, you'll start your adventure. We're going to start with a bare minimum of equipment. We may have to find or buy other items during our travels. We have a sword, we have leather armor, we have a backpack to hold our provisions and treasures. In addition, we can take one bottle of magical potion, which will aid you in your quest. You may choose to take skill, strength, or fortune. These potions may be taken at any time during your adventure, except when you're in a battle. So what do we want? So we're going to do skill, strength. I mean, I can only think that strength is the way to go. Probably isn't. But we're gonna say potion of strength. So I'm not going to read the background. Basically, Fang is a ordinary small town in a northern province of the area that you live in. There, the town and a guy named Sukumvit has made a challenging dungeon. They've made this labyrinth. They filled it with evil nasties, and they have what they call the Trial of Champions. Anyone that can get through it gets 10,000 gold pieces. So every year, adventurers from around the world, around the realm, come to take part in this challenge. Many never ever come out. So before May 1st, the big trial, it's a huge party in town. You get a violet scarf to tie around your arm so that everyone knows that you're a participant. Everyone's loving on you. They're having fun. We're partying. But then the dawn comes, and it's time. Ahead, we see in the looming hillside a dark mouth of a tunnel disappearing into its inner depths. As we get closer, we notice two great stone pillars on either side of the tunnel entrance. The pillars are covered with ornate carvings, writhing serpents, demons, deities, each seeming to scream a silent warning to those who would pass beyond them. The Baron is there at the entrance, greeting the contenders. You count 5 others standing proudly in line, their violet scarves displayed for all to see. There's 2 bare-chested barbarians dressed in furs. They stand completely motionless, legs straight, slightly apart, arms thrust forward to rest on the hilts of their long, double-headed battle axes. A sleek elven woman with golden hair and feline green eyes is adjusting the crossbelt of daggers wrapped around her leather tunic. Of the 2 other men, one is covered from head to toe in iron plate armor with a plumed helm and a crested shield, while the other is cloaked in black robes, only his dark eyes showing between the swaths of his black-faced scarves. Long knives, a wire garrote, and other silent death weapons hang from his belt. 5 contenders acknowledge your arrival with almost imperceptible nods of the head, and you turn to face exultant crowd for the last time. You draw straws, and yours is the 5th. The trial begins. The knight is first. He salutes the crowd before disappearing into the tunnel, and is followed half an hour by the elf. Next goes a barbarian, and then the dark assassin. Now it's your turn to salute the crowd. Holding your violet scarf aloft, you take one final deep breath of cool, fresh air before turning to pass between the stone pillar gateway into Sukumvit's corridors of power to face the unknown perils of the walk through the mighty Baron's Deathtrap Dungeon. The clamor of the excited spectators gradually fades behind you as you venture deep into the gloom of the cavern tunnel. Large crystals hang from the tunnel roof at 20-meter intervals, radiating a soft light, just enough for you to see your way. As your eyes gradually become accustomed to the near darkness, you begin to see movement all around. Spiders, beetles, crawling up and down the chiseled walls, disappearing quickly into cracks and crevices as they sense your approach. Rats, mice, scurry along the floor ahead of you. Droplets of water drip into small pools with an eerie plopping sound which echoes down the tunnel. The air is cold, moist, dank. After walking slowly along the tunnel for about 5 minutes, you arrive at a stone table standing against the wall to your left. On it, there are 6 boxes, one of which has your name painted on its lid. I'm gonna open that box. The lid of the box lifts off easily. Inside you find 2 gold pieces and a note written on a small piece of parchment addressed to you. After placing the gold in your pocket, you read the message which says, "Well done. At least you have the sense to stop and take advantage of the token aid given to you. Now I can advise you that you will need to find and use several items if you hope to pass triumphantly through my Deathtrap Dungeon." Signed, the Baron. Memorizing the advice on the note, you tear it into tiny pieces and continue north along the tunnel. After walking down the tunnel for a few minutes, you come to a junction. A white arrow painted on one wall points west. On the floor, you can see wet footprints made by those who entered before you. It is hard to be sure, but it looks as though 3 of them followed the direction of the arrow, while one decided to go east. I will take the road less traveled. I will go east. Ahead, you see a large obstruction on the tunnel floor. Although it's too dark to make out exactly what it is, the wet footprints you have been following carry on towards the obstruction. No turning back now. You see that the obstruction is a large brown boulder-like object. You touch it with your hand and are surprised to find that it is soft and spongy. Ha! I'll not fall prey to these tricks. I will kill this beast, whatever it is. Your sword easily pierces the thin outer casing of the giant spore ball. A thick brown cloud of spores bursts out of the ball and envelops you. Some of the spores stick to your skin and start to itch terribly. Great lumps come up on your face and arms, and your skin feels as if it's on fire. Makes a sudden turn to the left and heads north for as far as you can see. The footprints you are following start to peter out as the tunnel gradually becomes drier. Soon you are beyond the dripping roof and the pools on the floor. You notice the air becoming hotter and you find yourself panting even though you're walking quite slowly. In a small recess on the left-hand wall, you see a section of bamboo standing on its end. Lifting it down, you see it is filled with a clear liquid. Ha! You must take me for a fool, Baron. This is clearly poison. I will not drink it. You shake your head, trying desperately to stop yourself from blacking out, but the heat is too much for you, and you fall unconscious on the floor. Only your immense strength and grim determination keep you from falling into unconsciousness. You press on. Mercifully, the temperature now starts to drop rapidly, and soon it feels almost cool again. On the left-hand side of the tunnel is a closed door. It has a small iron plate in it, which might possibly slide open. I've got to slide it open. Small plate slides open easily, and you find yourself peering into a room with a deep pit in the floor behind the door. On the opposite wall, there are 2 iron hooks, on one of which hangs a coil of rope. I need that rope. I'm gonna have to jump over this pit. The door swings open into the room, and you step back and jump over the pit. You put the rope in your backpack and jump back over the pit. We head back north. Ahead, you see that the tunnel turns sharply to the left. You turn the corner and almost bump straight into 2 fierce-looking orcs, armed with morning stars and wearing leather armor. You're totally unprepared as you draw your sword. One of them swings its morning star at you. The orc's morning star sinks agonizingly into your left thigh. You stagger backwards, but you manage to regain your balance in time to defend yourself. Fortunately, the tunnel is too narrow for both orcs to attack you at once. Fight them, one at a time. Okay guys, so combat, here we go. I put in orc, 5 skill, 5 stamina. This is a nice little tool. You can it'll actually do the rolling for you. So here's how you do it. You roll 2 dice for the monster, 2 dice for the hero. You add your skill scores in. So as you can see here, 6 plus 5 is 11, 7 plus 11 is 18. I would win this fight, so you roll 2, you work it out. Whoever wins, the other person, the other party takes -2 to stamina. At any time in a battle, And other times you can use what's called luck. I could use luck to try to do extra damage or to try to mitigate the damage. If I use luck right now, let's say I had 2. If I got at or below my luck score with my roll, I would do an extra 2. If I got above my luck though, I would add 1 hit point back to the monster. So it's a risky business, as the book tells us, and every time you use luck, your luck score goes down. So I'm interested to see when I hit luck here in a second if this will actually do it for us automatically, if we got to do it by ourselves. So here we go. Let's fight. I'm gonna fight. We're fighting this nasty orc with a morning star who just hit me in the leg, and I'm really mad at him. All right, I got 5 plus 11 is 16. He got 4 plus 5 is 9. So I wounded him. I want to use luck right now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it did go down. That was good. You were unlucky. And he got 1 of his stamina back. So you see how that works, right? I rolled, what did I roll? Apparently I rolled, I don't know if this was my roll or not. That doesn't make sense because that would have been 5. So whatever. All right, round 2. This orc is hurting. Boom, I hit him again. 5, 16 to 15. So I just hit him. Let's use luck again. Oh, and I killed the monster. All right. Orc number 1 is gone. Orc number 2 is a 6. And a 4. Let's fight. I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong because that shows above. I think he's got the luck wrong. But that's all right. So guys, I'm going to stop there. I don't want to ruin too much of the game. I don't want to expose too much of the book. I want you to go out and buy the book and have fun with it yourself. I hope I brought some memories back to some of you guys, and I hope I exposed some more of you guys to these cool new books. I'm going to get some more. There's some horror ones out there. House of Hell looks scary. Gates of Death looks scary. Appointment, Fear. By Steve. I gotta get one by Steve. There's a ton of these. These look like a lot of fun. The newer ones have different art than the old school art I was showing with the old school PDF. But yeah, the art's beautiful. The books are nice. Just nice little $10 books. How can you not want to play this game and do this thing? So yeah. Well, I hope you liked it. Appreciate you stopping by, and there'll be more coming soon. And as I always say, when a giant scorpion comes hanging around your house, get in your car and drive away.